found it's an experiment about where will different materials be in the mixture of oil and water. And materials needed is a big see-through glass cup, oil, water, button, gum, ice, rubber band, coin, beaker, and a pin set. My prediction is the button, rubber band, ice, and the gum will float on the top of the oil, and the coin will sink. Now what I did was first get the all materials needed, and second put 200 milliliters of water and 100 milliliters of oil in the cup by a beaker. But this is the beaker to be more exact. It's like a measuring cup. And third, put 2 buttons carefully in the mixture and see what happens, and use the pincet to put them in. So here I used the pincet, and the first one, sand, and the second one went on the middle where the oil and the water met. And number 4, put a coin carefully in the mixture by a pincet and see what happens. And the coin sank here. And do the same thing with the gum and observe what happens. The gum sank too. And number 6, put a rubber band and see what happens. The rubber band went on the middle where the oil and the water met, like the button. And number 7, finally put an ice and see what happens. But this is where the ice was. It floated on top of the oil. And my conclusion was that unlike my prediction, the button, rubber band, and the ice went on the middle where the oil and the water met, and the gum and the coin sank at the bottom. I found out different materials could be on the middle too. And this is the module of what I did. Here's the ice, rubber band, button, coin, and the gum. And I had a little some errors. Like I tried to put bubbles inside, and what happened was I tried to put the bubbles inside by the straw, and what happened was that instead of the bubble coming up, it went all over the oil, so I have to do it again. And I tried it on the salt water and the oil too, and it was pretty the same. And thank you for listening.
So you did all of you dropped all of the materials into only one cup?
Yeah.
So it was all the same.
What's that thing? This one? Yeah. Well, this is what I did. It's like this. This is the cup and the coin and the gum sand and the rubber band and the button went on the middle and the ice floated.
Okay, could you explain how you did the bubble thing again? I didn't quite understand.
Oh, I put the straw in and I blowed it.
And where was the end of the straw?
Apart.
No, the other end. Where did the bubbles come out of the straw?
Oh, at the water.
Down into the water? Oh, so so the straw went all the way through the oil and you blew bubbles into the water. And then what happened?
Instead of the bubble coming up, it went all over the oil, so I had to do it again. Because the oil.
And what happened when you did it again?
Oh, so I didn't do the straw.
And what happened?
And it was, the same.
So the same thing happened both times?
Yeah.
And explain to me again what happened. The bubbles went all over the oil. I'm not sure what you mean.
The oil, it turned to like bubbles. So
How big were the bubbles?
Like it was like kind of small.
Okay, so there were little bubbles all through the oil.
Yeah.
Did any of the bubbles come all the way up to the top?
Yeah, it was like all over, and I spilled some.
Okay. Scientifically, why do you think different materials float differently?
Well, because heavy things could sink at the bottom, and when it's flat, maybe it goes on the top and stays there. So that's why I thought the button will be at the top, but I got a different result.
Okay, so you think it has to do with how heavy it is or the shape of the object? Okay, so of all the things you measured, was the coin and the button the heaviest?
Yeah.
And what were the other things you measured?
The gum and the rubber band and ice.
So the button was heavier than the ice,
The ice was heavier than the button.
but it didn't sink to the bottom.
Yeah.
So does that support your conclusion that if it's heavier, it'll sink to the bottom?
No, but it could be made out of different things, so we could get different results.
So it doesn't matter about weight. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. First you said it's because it was heavier that it sunk to the bottom, and then you said, well, the ice was heavier, but it floated. So that doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to understand.
So I think there could be different results when it's made out of different things too.
Okay.
So like shape and how heavy it is, or what it is made out of.
So all those things matter.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Anybody else? Okay, nice job.